This panic attack suppressor will teach you how to overcome fear and end panic attacks forever. This is the decisive method to completely disarm panic attacks. And you can do it the next time you have one. This method will disarm an attack in an instant. It will destroy its very substance. It will nullify its power completely. And it will free you from panic attacks. I used to suffer from panic attacks, and now I don't. What did I do? I did exactly what I told hundreds of people to do. You may do this once and never experience an attack again. You may have to do it twice, or even 3 times. But I guarantee you will be free of panic attacks very soon. You may not like what I'm going to tell you. You may not fully understand it at first interpretation. But do it over and over again. Until you understand it. Because this is the key. The truth. The solution to end panic attacks. You are the one who is causing the panic attacks. 100%. Completely. There is no external factor that affects your condition in any way. You have a disorder. You have put yourself in this situation. Nobody else. There have been neither situations nor past experiences. Nor trauma. You have built that condition and you have consciously allowed yourself to be taken to the place. Held there, and perpetuated the living nightmare that panic attacks cause. A panic attack is fear of fear. If you did not fear that fear, you wouldn't be panicked. It's that simple. And without fear of them, or if you did not feel fear, they could not exist. It is a fact, there is no doubt. There is no exception. You have to go from being fearful to being fearless. You have to overcome fear. I would like to be with you and help you. Reason with you. But I cannot. You have to do it alone. You can do it. You have to trust me totally. You have to understand that this is what will end your panic attacks and nothing else. The next time a panic attack begins, do this, understand it, live it, and trust me with every square millimeter of your body. This is so important. This exercise may scare you at first, but resist. It will cure you of your panic forever. Alright. So panic is growing inside you. Symptoms and sensations are increasing. You feel almost out of breath. You have chest pains, you are sweating. Maybe shaking. And you feel dizzy. Listen to me now. Understand this. This panic attack is happening to you because you give it power. You are giving it the energy it has. Well, why don't you say to yourself, I'm going to let it do the worst. Travel with it, make it as bad as it can be. Force it to do the worst to you. Make it worse and worse. Urge it. See how you are controlling it. How it belongs to you. It is not doing nothing to you. You are doing it to yourself. The panic attack is nothing. It is weak. You are controlling it. Go now through that fear. And realize it can't hurt you. You've been through this before. Do not be afraid of the fear. There is nothing on the other side of the fear. The worst thing that can do to you is make you feel physically bad. Manifest the symptoms in your body. But those symptoms do not mean anything. Nothing is happening to you right now, and nothing will happen to you the next time, if this happens again. When I realized exactly the same thing that you just realized, I never had another panic attack in my life. My anxiety calmed down and disappeared. Let me explain you one thing. There is no condition, place or situation that causes panic. There is no threat. There is no wild animal.
It is neither your car, nor your boss, nor being away from home. It is not that sensation in the chest, or in the head, in the eyes, not even in the legs. It is not a clinical disease. It is you. Any other point of view, it is simply wrong. There's nothing that is causing you panic, only you, and you have to let it do the worst to you, to prove to yourself that it does not make sense, that it is stupid. that it's useless and pointless. I understand your belief that your panic attacks are caused by a situation, or by feeling a sensation, or by having a thought that previously caused you panic. Any of those things except you, but your nervous system causes it. It is you, yourself, who are perpetuating it. Instead of hiding from the panic, confining yourself to a protective existence, staying home, avoiding situations, give in to the panic, don't fight it, laugh at it, and when you learn to allow those feelings to be as bad as possible, in fact make them as bad as possible, and dive into them, then the truth about panic attacks will surface. The more you laugh at it, take away its power, get into the panic, try to have the worst time you can. At that moment you'll probably feel more scared than ever, but it won't hurt you, and you know it. Face it, and walk through it. And when you get to the other side, when you are going through the worst, look at yourself and say, "This is not so bad, the feelings are not going to hurt me," and tell yourself that this is the moment of truth, that this is the last time you'll be here, you will never have to come back, because from this moment you know that you should not be afraid of panic. You just stepped into the deepest depths of fear, and your fear has collapsed. And why? Because you just realize that your fears are based only on the fear of the fears themselves, that they are a vicious circle. And you just broke it. Now you know you can do this every time. In fact, you will look forward to the next time with great enthusiasm. You are glad beforehand of that challenge, of conquering it when it happens again. You have just overcome fear. You have just overcome panic attacks. It does not matter how long you have suffered from panic attacks. This is the solution. Now, you may find that you don't have to do this never again. It happens to a lot of people, but if you want to do it again, and do it until you realize that anxiety and panic attacks mean nothing, that you are creating the situation yourself, and that you can take away its power and free yourself from those anxiety attacks right now. If you do this as often as possible, your unconscious will learn new habits, and this will end your panic attacks permanently. If there is something I just said that you haven't understood, go to the beginning of the recording and listen to it again. And as many times as necessary. Anyone in the world who really has the ability to tell you how the brain works in response to anxiety will tell you that this is the solution. Start practicing it now, and panic attacks will belong to the past. And this is a promise.